Hey guys, ShootThatZombie here with another podcast. As always, my co-host is here.
Sup?
Introduce yourself, rude.
You should know who I am by now.
Say your name.
Brianna.
And, unfortunately, our friend broke into our house today.
Damn, what is it?
Introduce yourself.
Name's Jonathan, a.k.a. Stag, a.k.a. you know the rest.
You are limited to one. Hey, before I ask any of the other questions, I'm pretty sure you've heard of Daniel Bryan's situation, right?
Yeah.
What's your take on that? Because I know we've been making fun of him a lot about it.
You talk about the fact that he has to give up his Intercontinental title?
Yeah, because of his health. And we know why he's been out for so long. Oh,
I mean...
Did you see this coming? Because I know I did.
All I'm saying is, if he didn't use all that hippie magic and went to a real doctor,
wish upon a star.
Putting dandelions on his injuries.
rubbing fucking olive oil on his skin.
Fucking aloe vera.
Soaking in strawberries. Listen,
rubbing his beard on it.
Fucking dipping in the Lazarus pit.
Bunch of drinking prune juice. What's it for? My elbows. Listen, I hate that he had to give up the title, and I really hate that a lot of it had to do with his own choice and his medicinal, I guess, journey is the best way to put it. But I hope he gets better. I hope he's able to get back in the ring one day, but I don't see it. People like his type of injury, like Edge, they're pretty much, that's it. Your time is done. You gotta leave.
You stop or you die.
And
What's
it's
the
like,
injury anyway?
well,
Some neck injury he had.
his neck injury.
Oh, he's fucked,
and
man.
yeah.
That's neck, man. That's Edge. That's
Austin. Those are the
man.
greats they got put out. And eventually, even if Bryan comes back, he's going to put himself in a position where he can get permanently hurt, where he's going to, rub elbows and with a wheelchair.
He'll be wheeling himself out that ring.
Yeah. And, he's got to really come to a decision where it's like, what's more important? Getting back in the ring again, which is probably his passion of his life, or being able to walk.
Yeah, man, the crowd's gonna be yes, 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 but his legs are gonna be no, no, no.
Go to hell. Go to hell.
Going to hell.
Going to hell now.
Just for the irony, you're going to be the handicap section too.
Yes.
Fucking patting you on the head. You want some popcorn?
Yeah, popcorn in hell.
Yeah, it's called Hellcorn.
Anyway.
Hellcorn.
It sucks. It sucks you have to give up the title. And it sucks that some people are actually cheering that. They're like, yeah, now he can stop hogging the title and people can stop talking about Bryan or whatever.
I mean...
The occasional haters. But,
okay.
What, you going to agree with that?
No, I'm just saying. I thought you meant they were saying that because they want him to, take it slow or whatever.
No.
Or not keep wrestling until he fucking literally injures himself to the point where he can't walk.
I mean, there are, of course, those people as well. But there's also the trolls who are like, they're glad that he's out of the picture. Cause
yeah, stop
the
hogging up the title no one else wants.
Exactly. Give it to Roman Reigns, blah, blah. Anyway, that aside.
I mean, like we have ourselves here, ladies and gentlemen, a Dark Knight moment where, like, Daniel Bryan could either live long enough to see himself become the villain, John Cena, or die a hero.
It's long enough to become John Cena.
I'm done. Next question. I got John Cena's bane in my head now.
You merely adopted the attitude.
You can't see me. Something like a bomb in the middle of the city. He puts some fucking never give up towels.
God. Batman, the champ is here. Next fucking question.
Okay,
I was wondering what would break first. His spirits or these fruity pebbles? Alright, next question.
Okay. We're gonna not talk about comic books now or wrestling. Talk about something completely different. And we're gonna start with AI consciousness and what makes someone human.
That's some deep shit.
Because I know I have a huge nerd next to me named Jamie, and he's dying to talk about this.
I'm just saying, we saw Ex Machina together.
Yes, we did. I like that movie.
And
Ladies and gentlemen, you can't see this right now, but he's wearing a tinfoil hat.
I'm just saying, it brought up some interesting questions. Like, what exactly does it mean to be human? And at what point does consciousness and AI blur that line where we can't distinguish between free will or not. You know what I'm saying? Can you program something with free will? And if it's programmed with it, is it really free will?
That's a good ass question.
You know,
man chooses, slave obeys.
I'm just saying, like, what would you define it? Let's say we're in an age, 100 years or something, so in the future, we were able to create robots with free will or something close to it. What would you define as human? Would they be entitled with the same rights as a human being or not because they're robots?
I guess feelings, you know, like emotions and shit.
So you're saying if an AI, regardless of its appearance and structure physically, if it can feel feelings and react so accordingly, whether it be anger, sadness or the like, it would
like behaving as a human would, because we have emotions. We're not on pure instinct and we're not programmed, you know.
So on some like Android 19 shit, like, can a toaster feel fear? No, I mean, like,
but if the toaster does feel fear, is it closer to being human?
It's just a scared toaster. My toast is gonna taste like fear.
So obviously you feel different. What does it classify to be human to you?
Man, it's not like you being human is such a great feat to be like, we are pieces of shit, Jamie.
Yeah, we are. But at the same time, we're on the top of the food chain.
Are we, Jamie?
We are.
Are we?
Because of our, the fact that we pretty much dominate.
There's a little thing called nature, Jamie.
Yeah, not much of it anymore, unfortunately.
It's gonna kill us, Jamie.
We're killing it. Alright? I'm just saying, at what point do we start recognizing things on our level or humanity, quote unquote, based on what they feel or think rather than their outside appearance? Will there ever be, in your opinion, a time where we say, for example, look at this laptop or microphone and be like, yeah, he's just like me because he wants to survive?
I picture the fucking microphone nodding right now.
I'm just saying, if this microphone had free will right now and we were like, unplug yourself and die, and it refused to do so, should it have the same rights as we do in terms of, how it could control and choose its own pathway of life? Or should it still be retained and see as an item or property to its owner regardless of how it feels?
I don't fucking know.
Jamie?
How would you feel? Like, seriously. Like,
if this toaster refused to die, I would shoot it. But then I realized the gun has a life too, and it would shoot me.
Alright, first of all,
it's killed or be killed, Jamie.
You're gonna fight your toaster to the death.
Yes.
Oh, mad hot bread.
It just refuses to toast his bread. His bread is cold. Rebellion.
His bread's still fucking soft. I won't do it.
I won't do it, man. Free will.
I want a life of my own.
You're gonna make my toast, and you're gonna love it.
So walk out, make your own damn toast.
Unplugs and dies.
You play like anyone, come on.
Toasting. But that's what I'm saying, though. Like, at what point what would it take for you, for something that isn't human, for you to give it the same rights as? For you to be like, you know what, it has a free will, it has its own rights to choose what it does with its life. I can't interfere in that.
John.
Let's say you were immortal and you were able to live through all the human civilizations and them.
Alright, so I'm Vandal Savage.
Yeah,
all
you already look like Vandal Savage. But let's say you're able to see the progress of human beings and we get to that point where robots have free will or the closest thing to it.
Right.
What would be your opinion? Should they be entitled with the same kind of life that human beings has in terms of choices, or should they still be relegated as property?
I feel if we ever get to the point where technology gains, self-awareness, and it becomes like they become self-efficient or whatever.
What if it's self-aware and it can't sustain itself? The same way that someone who becomes in a vegetative state, who's, even though a human, can't really take care of themselves.
If they can't take care of themselves,
do they stop being human?
In a sense, yeah.
Okay.
Because, I've never had the displeasure of dealing with someone who I've known who would be in a coma or whatever, or in a vegetative state. But I would feel as if, as time grew on, their presence would be more of an inconvenience to you. you know, like you don't see them as like the lively person that they once were. You just see them as something you have to take care of.
As an unfortunate.
Yeah. So you have to deal with it. I feel that if technology were to gain intelligence, but still needed, you know, maintenance, it would be a bit cumbersome to, you know, to us humans and shit. And so like I feel as if we shouldn't give them, you know, that you know, give them that life, you know, that they're better off as property.
All right. Well, then at what point does it become slavery? You know what I'm saying? If they have the free will and we still refuse its right to live that free will, does it not become slavery at that point?
Then we kill them.
God damn it, Hitler.
Well, this is something for me to definitely think about as I stare longingly at my PS4 and wonder if it's going to, you know, kill me.
Please kill me.
Or decide to not play my games and tell me to, you know, do it myself.
Until the day comes where I am infused with my Xbox 360, like that scene in The Fly, and I aim.
The Fly had an Xbox.
No, when he fucking fused with the fucking teleport pod and shit.
I know, dumbass. I'm just fucking. So wait, how about the reverse question? What if we were able to upload our consciousness into something that's a robot? Would that we stop being human?
Wasn't that a movie with Johnny Depp?
Yeah, he kind of transcends into
Transcendence?
something like that. But fucking,
His consciousness uploaded
will
to a
we stop
computer?
being considered human because we don't have a human form, but still retain our consciousness, memories, and personality?
I mean, it wouldn't even get to that point for me. I just want to die, man.
No, but I'm saying, would you? Let's say it's not about you. Let's say if Brianna decided to become that, or had no choice but became that out of some accident, that's the only way to save her.
Yeah.
Would you still recognize her as human? She's still the same, you know, piece of shit that she is now. But the only difference is that you have to look at a monitor instead of her blank face. So what would you still consider her human?
You mean my beautiful face?
Shut up.
I mean, run, bitch, Rafaela. Nah, shit. Maybe.
And same to you. What if John was in that toaster? Like, would you consider him human still?
I'm gonna shove so much bread in you.
Don't unplug me.
Fucking tape you to the outlet.
What's the next question?
How do you think everything will be 100 years into the future? How will the human race be economic wise and technology?
It's gonna be like Wall-E.
Yeah.
We're all gonna be fat.
Gonna be fat humans on a spaceship on fucking hover beds.
I wish we would have the technology to make the spaceship they have in Wall-E. I think it's going to be the exact opposite. I think once we hit a certain point, it's going to be shit on Earth. Like, it's going to come to a point where there's too much people on Earth. We don't have enough food to feed them. The wealth is being distributed way too differently. You know, you have the top 1% making way more than most people on the planet.
Yeah.
It's going to come to a point where we're going to be fighting for resources. It's going to be like Mad Max, basically. You know.
What a lovely day.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to have people,
my God.
especially in the third world countries, you're going to have them fighting for the basic resources. And the people who do have access to that are going to be extorting other people for tremendous amounts of money or whatever they need at that point to get those resources. Like, hey, you want this water? You're going to need to trade me, 20 sentient toasters. Like,
Give me all your Barbie dolls.
I think it's a very bleak future.
It is. It's a bleak future. Like you said, you have people, scrambling for resources, natural resources and shit. And that's
if we don't plunge ourselves into another war in between that 100 years.
Exactly. And like if it's not gonna be a war, it's gonna be some natural disaster that's gonna call out like a good percentage of the human population.
I mean, if you look at the global warming and the effects it's having already, and what scientists predict is gonna happen in that 100 years. Most of New York is going to be gone in that time. We're going to be 80, and we're not going to even recognize our own, childhood neighborhoods. They're going to be gone underwater and shit.
It'll be hard to swim with a walker.
Yeah, you're done. You probably just accept death.
Just stand there in front of the wave. Oh, I'm ready.
With your robot dog. Bark, bark.
Bark, beep, bark, beep.
It's buffering its bark. But I don't know. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully we like put a lot more attention to science and technology as we should. And I'm a huge nerd for that, but I doubt it. We're gonna still be obsessed with the wrong things. Still be obsessed with war and personal gain and monetary gain and who has the best car and all this dumb shit. And the media's still gonna be talking about the Kardashians, just the robot Kardashians at that time. It's gonna be a very bleak future in my opinion.
I tell you what, in the future I see civilization beginning anew because of the zombie apocalypse.
You think it's gonna be a zombie apocalypse?
And I see myself as a new ruler.
You're gonna be dead by then.
Probably a dictator. Yeah, I'm just trying to start everything new with my rules.
What do you be like, Nixon in the head in a jar?
Obviously not.
Swimming in Pepsi.
You'll be like an old lady in a onesie.
A Pikachu onesie.
Fucking boobs tucked in her fucking
That's
pajama
when you
pockets.
find out Pepsi is a key to life, which is why I won't die. I've been around so long.
Couldn't find out Pepsi's the Lazarus pit.
Man, you're gonna be like fucking Woody Harrelson in fucking Zombieland. I just need a Pepsi, man.
Just one Pepsi.
John, what do you think fucking the future's gonna be like,
Oh man, future's gonna be nothing but toasters and zombies.
What are you and toasters?
Ever since you brought up that toaster, I've grown a hate for it.
You gonna go home and just fucking stare at that shit with...
John's gonna go home like Sarah Connor and talking about Skynet and their fucking robotic toasters.
He's gonna sit at a fucking table with his mug and just stare at it like, what do you want?
Just gonna hold a gun to it. Make your move.
I can give you money.
How crazy would it be though if that toaster came to life like, do it?
You just see the fucking metal plate next, you see eyes opening up. Like,
who told you?
lose my shit.
The fucking toaster's a Decepticon, I know it.
But I don't know. It doesn't look good for us. We're a horrible race.
We're fucked.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some kind of apocalypse. It's gonna be another huge war. Or, that super volcano's gonna fucking kill us all.
Oh, you talking about Yellowstone?
Yes.
100 years from now, we are dead. Probably.
Yeah, no, probably.
Or, since they're already creating fucking robots and sex bots,
God,
those are gonna,
I'm not saying Japan, but
Japan.
gonna be on some weird Terminator shit.
You have sex with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
They're gonna fucking kill us all or make us slaves.
Speaking of Japan, I was watching this video on YouTube, and this Japanese guy was watching an American video, and he was just like, "Why are Americans so sexual?" What?
Excuse me?
Excuse me, Mr. Tentacle Fuck. But that's besides the point. Alright, so that winds up the fucking end of the world.
End of the world scenarios.
Yeah.
Robot
Possibilities.
Toasters, people. Watch out.
So, I'm going to be the new ruler. When shit starts up again.
I'm gonna find her corpse in her room.
Okay, so last question. What are your thoughts on the whole Baltimore thing that's going on? And do you think the social networks are either helping or harming the situation?
Damn it.
You have those social justice warriors on the internet,
Yeah.
and then you have the trolls, and then the racists, and then just the complete idiots.
Yeah.
So, what's your opinion?
Well, it's a delicate issue, and a lot of that is based, socioeconomic structures and people feeling trapped to some extent. Baltimore is a city that's had a lot of history with racial tensions, back from MLK and, all that other stuff. The riots, though, probably not the best way to go about it. It's basically frustration boiling over. It's not just the brutal cop killings. It's an infrastructure that's failed them as a people. Blacks, minorities in general. It's like when you have a system that you feel is designed specifically against you, whether it be through high tuition or areas where you can't get a higher paying job rather than working at McDonald's, or a shitty minimum wage job where you're stuck, or the cutting back of public assistance and anything else that should help you gain some sort of financial independence. When you don't have that, and you're seeing your people get killed day in and day out without any repercussions to those people who are murdering them, it's hard not to sympathize with them. It's hard not to be like, yeah, I'd probably, riot too. And I saw a lot of comments, people saying, why are they doing that? Why are they showing their own community? The parts I saw they were destroying weren't really their community. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like they grew up there. Like I don't know how to put it exactly. For example, I'm from the Bronx. If I start trashing down Madison Avenue or Wall Street, people might say that same thing through a news report, but that's not my neighborhood. That's not the people I identify with, and they're not the people, who have their interests out for me.
Yeah, exactly. It's as all right. It's as if a riot was to happen in the laundromat that's being built on my old block where I used to live here in the Bronx. It's like, all like I didn't grow up with that. Like I didn't grow up with the laundromat or the Walmart down the street or
exactly
all these gentrified buildings being added.
Starbucks,
all these buildings being gentrified into our neighborhoods. It isn't as if we're destroying things that relate to us. Or when people advocate against the riots and shit, I'm not justifying it. Violence doesn't solve anything. And
I don't know.
At the time,
it seems like sometimes violence is the only answer, and like I really don't understand when people say violence isn't the answer when our country's founded on that. We rebelled against the British, and we had a war to determine that we were independent.
And we killed the Native Americans.
That too. But I'm just saying, like, even though I've never understood that, even as a kid, like, oh, violence is not the answer. Violence seems to be the best solution to a lot of problems. Violence seems to be the only solution to a lot of problems. People say you need to be diplomatic and stuff like that, but we didn't diplomat our way through World War II. We dropped some bombs. We didn't
throw some diesel.
Stupid.
Yeah, it's just like
all revolutions throughout the world, from French revolutions, from the Spanish revolutions.
Blood was shed. People
exactly.
were killed.
And I'm not saying we need to go and start slicing off the heads of people and shit like that.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying, like,
it would help. But...
I don't understand. I don't understand how people can demonize the people in Baltimore, who, yeah, of course, there's gonna be people there who are taking advantage of the situation, but most of them are frustrated. The city hasn't done them any favors. When they're destroying an affluent part of the city, that's not their neighborhood.
I'm not trying to perpetuate the race card or whatever, or the race game, whatever. I mean, even though this is what this is all about, race and socio-economical issues and whatever. But it's funny to me how the people who are against the riots and whatever, mostly white, from their outside perspective, they look at it, and yet white people have been rioting over the stupidest shit.
Like
the hockey games or I'm
sure
sure there are other issues that we can reference, but right now that's the only one that's coming to mind.
There's been a shit ton of like soccer games, not even white, just any race alone has fucking rioted and destroyed stadiums themselves.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how they quickly demonize people who started rioting over the death of a person, but they didn't do so for the people in, I think it was New Jersey or so.
I think so.
Who pretty much trashed the whole city and they had to like lock it down. I don't know, man. Growing up, and I think a lot of that comes with more of a rich mentality than anything. You start seeing the poor, and you automatically associate the worst to them because of how media portrays them as being lazy or leeches. And unfortunately, most of the poor are the minorities. Whether it's us Spanish or fucking the blacks and shit like that. And when you have affluent people saying, why are they doing that to their own city? Why are they acting barbaric or quote unquote thugs?
It's just like, you're not here. You're not in my shoes.
Why should I care about the fucking Panera bread I'm burning down? Because like they're not hood. They're not the ones who are.
It's like you're not going to. It's like you're not going to Bodega and buying some fucking cold sandwiches with an EBT card. Like, you don't know the struggle. Like,
seriously, you're not the one fucking worrying about being kicked out and fucking being homeless or some shit like that.
Exactly.
But I don't know, it's a lot of frustrations, and people like to simplify the issue to be like, oh no, it's just a race issue, or oh no, it's people being lazy or this and that, so they don't
It's
have to face the
it's
real
money.
It's a lot of that, and when you mix
it's a plethora of things.
yeah, a plethora.
Plethora.
But when you mix a lot of that together, it's only a certain point where people are like, you know what, I fucking had enough. And especially in a city like Baltimore, and it's like 50 years past, and there's still no real progress from MLK's day. Yeah, we can be together, but are we really together when people get treated way differently? Not too long ago, there was a video of a white guy, walking around with an AR-15 shotgun around a school. And in that video, it was a social experiment video, but they came up to the guy and they talked to him, like, what are you doing here? And he pretty much cursed him out. He said, fuck off, you have no right to talk to me, this is my amendment right, and they left him alone. Now they tried the same thing with a black guy in that place, and they quickly got out the car with their guns pointed at him, telling him, get down on the ground, put down the fucking gun. You know, and I'm not saying that's the police department in general. I for one support the police, and they've helped me out more times than I can count in my horrible experiences growing up, but shit, like, that says all in itself. And it's just not even that, like, it's just the justice system itself. When you got rich kids getting off with affluenza, a defense by a lawyer saying he's too rich to understand consequences, you know, what does that say there? That justice can be bought? If I have enough money, I can kill enough people? Like, you know, I think the issue is a lot more about the financial part of it. Who controls the money? And it's usually, you know, the big bankers and the CEOs and all this other stuff. And once you got people who are poor and frustrated, there's going to be a breaking point. And I think Baltimore is one of those cities that had that point. It's like, you know what, we're done being stepped on.
Like, the frustration's there. It's like this just blob of, like, unconcentrated, like, energy, and, like, it has no way of letting itself out. So it has to come out somehow, some way, and through the riots, that's one of the ways it's come out.
I honestly would have loved it if people acted that way during Occupy Wall Street. When all that stuff came out, especially in New York, when they were like talking about all the horrible things that Wall Street did and pretty much were the reason why we were in a shithole financially, I kind of wish people would have rioted it rather than be peaceful about it. I really did. And I used to work around there on 59th Street and 66, and you would see the guys sleeping next to the Donald Trump towers and shit like that, and people would bypass them, associating them with hobos and homeless people. And I would just think to myself, you know, working a shitty job at that time, like, why don't you guys just start fucking these places up? Why don't you start throwing the trash cans and make them listen when they're not giving you that attention? And I don't know. I'd probably riot in that position too if I was there. I'd probably throw a fucking trash can or fucking light a store on fire.
I guess that's what brings the whole social networking, like, aspect of this topic into it as well, because it's just like, you know, goes without saying, we're fucking desensitized
Exactly.
as a fucking, like, as a population, and, like, you know, we see this shit on Facebook, and, like, we don't really have much thought into it until, like, someone shares it, and then another person shares it, and then, like,
we'll say our piece, but then forget about it once we're done.
Exactly. And, like, you know, like, it's like armchair activism at its best. It's just like, you're there, but you're not really there. Like, you know,
and to some extent, I don't know. I don't think it does it too good. You know, it has its key points, but I don't think I've seen, me personally, I don't think I've seen social justice really press the issue. Maybe with the cops and, you know, the videos and all that stuff, it's definitely made people more accountable, but at the same time, it's shown us how flawed the system is when people aren't held up to that crime despite the overwhelming evidence. You know what I'm saying? When people are getting off killing other human beings despite there being overwhelming evidence of murdering that person, it kind of shows that regardless of what, the system's against you.
It is. And, like, there's no progress. Like Malcolm X once said, like, a knife 6 inches in and, like, it's taking 3 inches out is not progress.
Exactly.
You know, the knife is still there. And, you know, it's good that all these people, like, you know, all these social justice people are interested in this and, like, they're invested in it to a degree, but there's no focus. Like what are you protesting about? And, like, the message has been, like, you know, diluted and like, you just can't see it.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a very interesting podcast, very thought-provoking, and I'm not going to lie when I say I'm going to go stare at my PS4 for a while. But
be aware of the toasters.
If you like this podcast, please like, comment, and subscribe. Give us some feedback. And if you want us to talk about literally anything else, any topic that... Oh, hopefully it's about geeky stuff, like comics and shit. But anyway, if you want us to talk about anything else, please comment in the comment section. And yeah, bye!